You see, the problem with music producers, including myself, is that we like getting shit done. This thing is annoying me. Alright, what that means is that we are always in a rush to finish things and move on to projects that excite us more musically. We believe more in the outcome rather than the process that leads to the outcome. And in all fairness, this entire process is extremely exhausting, and the reason for that is because you're only creating music just to get validated. And I think that's the worst thing producers, including myself, can do to us. What's up everyone, Siddharth here, aka Sunset Tribe, and welcome to episode number 4 of Sunset Vibes with Sunset Tribe. Now, today, I'm in the mood to give everyone advice. Because why? Because, well, everybody loves giving advice, right? And nobody really likes taking it. So I want to be part of that group and give advice. Now, as a music producer, I can sympathize with the fact that producer life isn't that exciting. Okay, imagine this. This is the life of a typical music producer. And if you disagree with me, please drop a comment. We work till late, let's say 4 a.m. We finish a song, something that we think is the next banger, right? And then for the next 2 hours till 6 a.m., we'll be listening to it on loop, thinking, oh my god, yes, this is definitely a banger. And then by 7 a.m., we are sending a WhatsApp text to our friend saying something on the lines of,
yo, check this beat out. I think it's dope. What do you think?
And then another hour goes by when you don't get a revert, and that's frustrating you. Well, when you finally get a revert, God forbid if the feedback that you receive is, well, it was all right. That can be really frustrating. I mean, I've been through it. You have been through it. It's annoying, right? Sure, it is. And then we get into this weird ego trip where all we think about is proving to the other person that no, whatever I create is the shit. Therefore, you should appreciate it. Now, is that really something that's a very objective analysis of your production? Maybe not. But that's how usually most creative people work, myself included. I hate it when I get feedback from people saying,
well, yeah, it could have been better.
Well, because they do not understand you've put in a lot of hard work into it, and I get it. It's not their problem, right? So the worst thing you can do is try to seek validation on your craft from others, because then you're not really creating for yourself. You're really just doing it for the sake of getting accepted by the general audience, so to speak, or being accepted by the community or whatever that. Because of this problem that we have, and especially it's on the rise because of social media, urgency to prove yourself to be successful, and this pressure that social media brings on everybody where, you need to feel validated, you need to feel important. Well, good morning. Every human being wants to feel more important than the other one. That's just the fact of life. And the sooner we come to terms with it, the better it is for us. Which is why I wanted to make this video. I think we should all take a deep breath and
chill the F down.
And the reason I say that, if we start enjoying the process of creating music or art or anything that is creative, I think we will feel internally much more fulfilled with what we are doing. When we were younger, for example, I played the guitar, right? Did I get into playing the instrument because I wanted to kind of show off to my friends or get on stage? Well, sure, get on stage, but it was for the love of the instrument that I picked up the guitar. And then all that time that I spent practicing on the instrument was to own my craft. It wasn't to seek validation from XYZ and get some kind of approval from someone where I felt validated with the kind of hours I had put into that craft. So to all my creative friends, please try to appreciate the process, creating a piece of art more than arriving at the outcome. And I think if you kind of naturally imbibe that into your workflow, you'll be much more original because you don't have anything to prove to anybody in the first place. Secondly, you will give it the time it needs to nurture and develop. And if you look at any amazing work of art, and this extends to paintings, this extends to music, this extends to cinematography, films, talented people who spend a lot of time nurturing and chiseling down their craft are the ones who really succeed. Now, let me tell you a story. I originally am from New Delhi, India, which is the capital of India, as most of you know. And if you don't know, well, New Delhi is the capital of India. Most of my upbringing was in that city, great vibes, made some amazing friends, discovered a lot of music. I remember going back in the day with my closest friends, and we would take bike rides to, buy cassettes with our pocket money, and we'd listen to a new record every day. And that was just life for us back then. And we would, listen to these records circuits and get inspired, and eventually, got into guitar playing, figured stuff out by listening to things on our cassette players. We didn't really have YouTube back then. Were we trying to be the next Dave Grohl? No, not really. We just loved music so much that we wanted to kind of somehow feel part of that entire culture. And that feeling was extremely pure and simple. Of course, that led to us forming a band, and that eventually led to us making life choices that were either revolving around music or not revolving around music. I remember back in the day, I wanted to be a filmmaker, and then music kind of drew me more, and I ended up basically studying music production. Went to the UK, spent about 3-4 years there, came back, ran a studio back in Delhi, then moved to Bombay, started freelancing, and that's where reality hit me. And as soon as I landed in Mumbai, I remember, till that point in my life, I was extremely trusting of the process, and then suddenly Mumbai changed me to worry more about the outcome. I hope that makes sense to you. And what that did was that over the last 3 to 4 years, it kind of unknowingly changed the way I approach music. It changed my production style to a point when, till last year, there were times in my life where I felt I can't do this anymore. And the reason is not because I don't love music or I'm not a good producer, because I do really think I'm a good producer. Nothing wrong with that. I do think I'm good. Very simple. And I honestly don't need your validation to let me know if I'm good or not. Very simple. And I really don't mean it from a place of arrogance. I mean it from a place of self-confidence, where at least I'm confident enough to create my own music and present it irrespective of having the fear of being liked or disliked. So let's rewind a little. Over the course of a few years, I'm not realizing the fact that the way I write music, the way I produce music, I have a natural stylistic approach that kind of resonates with me and my creativity, right? That somehow was getting dissipated, and that disappeared over the last 3-4 years because everybody here was expecting me to produce music and create music in a certain way. In the very beginning, sounded very exciting, but by the end of it, it took away more than what it gave me. And I remember last year, I was like, enough is enough. I end up with a hard drive full of some really interesting productions, songs, etc. But I never end up releasing the stuff that I really want to release because I have this fear of basically validation, right? Because you want your music to be liked by others. While that's a great feeling, and I'm sure the artists who are in the Spotify top 10s and have millions of streams on YouTube and Spotify, I'm sure you get a kick out of it, and I'm very happy for you all. But this is coming from a guy who is, I think, part of the clan where there is a lot of talent all around the globe, but perhaps because of whatever reasons have not broken through, which is fine. I mean, everybody's not meant to break through the cloud of bullshit that's out there. It made me realize something. I would much rather be myself creatively and have less number of listeners and a more niche audience rather than trying to please other people in the attempt of having a greater audience base and then losing myself in that entire process creatively. So the reason I'm telling you all this detail is so that you understand that there's context on this video in the first place, that it comes from a place of experience and not a place of just like, giving away lectures to individuals that, oh, you should, do things this way. No, all I'm saying is no matter what style of music you create, whether it's rap, hip hop, new age, ambient, I'm just here to remind you that the best thing that you can do for your craft is be honest to yourself and trust the process, because if you trust yourself and the process, it's only going to do great things for you. I just wanted to speak about all these thoughts because now that I am doing vlogs, if you haven't seen my previous 2 episodes, if you want to check them out, you can. But the whole idea was that I capture my journey, right, of creating my new album. And that also includes talks such as this, which are revealing for myself. And I maybe feel that if I share it with the rest of the world, it could maybe hopefully add value somewhere. So yeah, that was the whole point of this. Just watch this and internalize this. You internalizing what I'm saying and taking away some positives from this video is more important than me getting a like or a thumbs up or a comment. A friend of mine once said that a lot of people just create music and they feel extremely fulfilled if they even make one person in the world feel better with their music. If their song or their art or craft could actually affect somebody's life positively in any way, that's basically acing it. And I think in the grand scheme of all the noise that surrounds us, that sounds very naive. at a nascent level, it's, I think, one of the most amazing things that somebody can say. These are some of the revelations I've had while I've been thinking a lot about the kind of music that I want to make. And I think I said this in my previous videos as well, that I want to be true to myself. If being true to myself means I'm going to make the most eclectic music, well, then so be it. As an artist, I refuse to change my style just for the sake of validation from others. And at the end of it, I want to create more music, and I want to be happy creating it. And so should you be happy creating your art. I just want to, say thank you for listening, and, take my music. Let me know. If you don't, then also let me know. But anyway, Sunset Tribe signing off. I hope you guys took away some positives from this video, and I will see you cats later.